God, you're getting on my damn nerves. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to your favorite podcast.
Riffin with Griffin,
yeah. Whoa, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hot.
Riffin with Griffin, yeah.
Okay, Dean Del Rey, this is the singing mic. So make sure you hold it away because I got it on too hot. So whatever you got, Dean.
Man.
I messed it up.
Feeling that.
I know.
I was about to come with my lakeside.
Okay, we got to start. You know what? Let's start it over anyway so I can turn the mic down.
Cool. Okay. Shit's on fucking
Yeah, the shit's on 7.
on 100.
I don't even realize. I was like, God,
Yeah.
damn, the singing mic is hot.
I'm like, I guess I'm gonna hear this podcast.
Yeah, you sure are. It should be like there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, man. All right. I might even keep that in anyway.
Yeah. It's hilarious.
Two old guys trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. This keeps happening. This is the problem. It's like when you're a one-man show, Dean.
I hear you, dude. I can't afford a producer.
Yeah, it's just,
They're like, "Where's your dude at?" I'm like, "What?"
I do have a guy that's helping me out, but he couldn't be here today. But it's still, you know what I mean? All right, here we go.
Yeah.
All right, that's better. Ladies and gentlemen, to the second try, welcome back to Riffin with Griffin.
Whoa. Yeah.
There we are.
Riffin with Griffin.
All right, Dean Del Rey, there's a singing mic. I always give it to the guests. Whatever you got, let me see. Let the Del Raisers know.
We're Riffin with Griffin. Ooh, yes we are. On a Friday afternoon, fool. Oh, Riffin with Griffin.
Get him out outside the moon, yeah.
Oh, yeah, we're Griffin. Ooh, motherfucker, don't play with the cables all out in the open.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast, Mr. Del Rey. All right, we did it. All right, the fun is over.
That was our interpretation of P-Funk 1979.
Yeah, it's a great band that made that for me, and then it's like I got a lot of great music from people.
Oh, yeah.
All these kids and producers and just like rap producers and stuff like that. They send me all this great music. You can take the headphones off if you don't want them anymore.
Yeah,
we
all right.
don't need the headphones anymore.
Yeah.
I'll just know if it doesn't work. You can put it down on the ground. So anyways, yeah, so this is Dean Del Rey, longtime friend, known you forever. I think it's the first time we sat down like this in a podcast. I know you do a podcast. What's the name of your podcast again?
I got a podcast network now called Cactus Radio Network.
Cactus Radio Network.
.com, and my 10 years, Let There Be Talk, 10 years of July 12th.
Jesus.
Yeah, 10 years, man. I know. I'm like, I can't even believe it, actually, And then I do one called The Grail, where I feature people that make stuff and handmade shit like boots and cars and
that's good.
Architects, whatever. And then Marin and I got a brand new one called Dark Fonzie. And then I've got this spiritual guru lady named Byron Katie, who is like the female Tony Robbins. And,
oh, wow.
Yeah, I got a podcast with, I produced that one. I'm not on that. And she's out there killing it.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah.
It's amazing how the art form or the platform has grown in that 10 years, right? It's just like...
Oh, man. I mean, especially, I was laughing like during COVID. People are like, I'm going to start a podcast. I'm like, oh,
okay, good luck with that.
Good luck with that. People always go like, well, what should I do? And I'm like, man, I don't have guests. Because that's going to be hard as fuck. I have guests, and you even said it.
Yeah,
like,
it's like, especially during like when the COVID, and even now, and still, even still, just regularly trying to get guests, unless you got a booker, or a producer, or you want these big podcasts. I mean, there's just tiers, levels of like, Rogan being at the top, You know, it's like Rogan. It's probably the top, right? And then like everything underneath that, it's like, you know,
Marin,
Adam Carolla, and those kind of guys. But like, I don't even count Marin in that because he just does audio.
Yeah.
So he's like a strictly audio podcast, and it's a totally different experience. But
yeah,
if
that's
you're doing,
me too.
You know what I mean? You're doing audio and video. It's a whole different thing. You know, I don't, no one is better than the other, but it's just like, damn, dude.
Hell.
I'm not getting 300 million from Spotify.
No, I know. Like,
you know what I mean?
I mean, like that Jason Bateman, he just signed like an $80 million deal. And it was only for Spotify to have it like or I think it was Spotify or Amazon, one of them, to have it a week early. They're not even owning the show. Like, hey, can we have it a week early? And here's 80 million. And these guys are on movies and huge TV shows.
Well, but that's the thing, though. I find that some of the more famous, recognizable people are seeing like, well, how can I monetize this?
Yeah.
And they're just doing it. Like, not even just like in podcast world, but like, you take someone like Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
He's been around for so long. He's like an old vet. He's an old dude now, really, in the rap game. But now he's just like an entertainer, and he's just like, it's a brand name, Snoop Dogg. So you just go, let's put him on this. All right, let's put him on that.
Once he crossed with Martha Stewart, it was like people are like, oh wow, this is on. And what's funny is like, I always say like podcasting and voiceovers are for like me, the ugly dudes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
for real.
Nobody knows who the fuck voiced Scooby-Doo, but we all love them. But now they're like, oh, here comes Jack Black. And
well, now they'll care if they find out if he wasn't really a dog. They'll be upset.
Yeah, they're like, oh,
only a dog can be a dog.
Yeah, they used a man to voice over Scooby, and it was a white man.
Yeah.
Cancel.
Scooby is a brown dog.
Yeah,
He should be.
Oh my god. Oh my god. But yeah, like I just got a voiceover agent after 100 years, and I'm like, all this stuff's going to people, and I'm like, kids don't care. They're not like Brad Pitt's killing it as the log.
Yeah.
It's like they just like a cool voice.
That's actually a hard game to get into, man.
It is.
I've had a voiceover agent for a while, and actually every job I've ever gotten, a lot of it is just like through word of mouth, or like this producer knew me from something else. But like in terms of like doing an audition, I don't think I've ever booked a role from an audition.
Oh, when I first moved to LA, I got 4 voiceovers the first month, and I made like 12 grand. I was like, wow, I'm going to be rich. You know what I mean? It was like instantly this guy's like, hey, can you sing a Diet Dr. Pepper commercial? I go, oh yeah. I went over and he goes, hey, what about this one here? California avocados. And next thing you know, I'm getting checks. And then he's like, wait, I think I can just do this with a little vocal enhancer. And he just took all the gigs.
Oh, really?
And since then, I've been trying to get a voiceover agent forever. And
yeah, it's tough. I've done, again, like I think I did get like a couple, but they weren't high paying gigs. It was like some Nickelodeon type shows,
Yeah.
And then those things go like one run or like one season, and it's like it's not that serious. But it is. Damn, my hair looks like I'm crazy because I usually have the headphones on, so I don't worry about it. But but I'm just.
You like the Hawk?
Yeah. I was like, I don't know what's going on with your shit.
Well, during the fucking lockdown, I was like, you got to get a dog and get a mohawk. I saw Road Warrior.
That's what I did with my beard. I just like it was like I remember when the thing started and I just shaved my mustache for the first time in 30 years just to see.
Yeah.
Then it just became like, who cares?
I know.
Like we're just living in this who cares world. Like we don't care what we look like. We don't care what we sound like. We don't care And then it's like then the world sort of started up again, and then it like stopped again. And we're just like now we're in this state of just like waiting for it to close down again. I mean, I don't know what's happening out there, but I don't know. But not even to get into that. Like so, like we've known each other for a freaking long ass time.
11 years.
Yeah, my first time like even knowing anything about you was just like just people talking about you.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy Dean. Yeah, It's like there wasn't a show you would turn down.
Yeah.
You know, it would be like, it would be like, oh yeah. Then you'd be like, yeah, there's this great room in Monrovia. Just get, I'm gonna.
I was on that motorcycle.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I did Paramount tonight, Bakersfield, and Modesto.
I'd be like, how the hell are you doing all these shows? And then it just became a thing, and then you just like always around, and you just like stuck it out. And then you were like kind of guy, dude, like you count your shows.
I
you
still
like,
do.
Yeah, which is like crazy to me. I've never even thought to do that. I look back on it now thinking like, man, I wish I would have counted my shows.
Yeah, I thought about counting them in case I, ever do a documentary or a book, and then I just kept going, and then I started using it actually later. Like, wait, have I done this room? And I looked, oh yeah, I did this room. I have some notes.
Oh wow, your
You know?
booker's an asshole.
Yeah,
or like,
that fucking guy ripped me
sound
off.
system sucks.
Yeah. No mass,
Oh, are you one of those? You in there being a Karen?
I changed it to Tammy. I think Tammy's the worst one. They bleach their own hair because they can't afford it. I'm Tammy.
But here's the thing, man. Like, as much as like we've like hung out, we've even gone on the road. I don't even know if we've like talked about the origins of even what you've even done. So I'm sure you've talked about this a million times and other things, but my small audience doesn't know anything about it. So, yeah. So like, where are you from? Like, you started in where?
Well, I grew up in the Bay Area. I was born in Yosemite, dude.
Really?
Yeah, in the park, man. I lived there.
You were born in the park?
In the park, yeah.
Oh,
my
man,
parents
talk
met
about
there.
trailer trash.
Yeah. No, actually, no trailers in Yosemite allowed. You know what I mean? They're like,
hey, you were tent trash?
they don't. I was log cabin trash, bitch. Log cabin is next level. It's funny. Sometimes I tell people I'm from Yosemite, and they're like, "Oh, yeah, did you live with the Bears?"
Right.
What are you? It's not
was
Daniel
Yogi there?
Boone.
Yeah.
But yeah, I grew up.
But wait, but is there a city in like Yosemite's not just the park?
It is the park, and it's very small. This is 1966. I'm fucking old, 55, and it was just a small community.
Oh,
if
wow.
you worked there, if you were rangers and store workers, and there's two hotels there, the Ahwahnee and then the Yosemite Lodge, and people kind of.
Oh, so the people that worked,
Right,
they also
lived in the park because you couldn't commute.
So
in it.
what did your parents do?
My mom worked at the Ahwahnee, then Dad was kind of like a part-time, helper ranger dude meets, he kind of in everything, ran the ice rink, and then delivered all the supplies to the shops and hotel and all that. So just a everything guy up there. And then my grandma worked there too.
Wow.
Yeah, she
so
worked
family business. So
she worked at the store.
So they disappointed in you, huh? When you left the park, they were like, "How dare you?"
Oh man, it's funny when I was there for years, and then I didn't go for like 10 years. I was like, God, man, I'm not going there, And then I went back and drove in, and I was like, oh man, how can I live here? That's what I started thinking.
I can imagine. Yeah, but I think a lot of people feel like that when you leave a small place and you go to any sort of metropolitan city, and then you just having access to the things you have access to, either you love small town life, simple life, but you either love it, then when you leave and you realize, oh shit.
Yeah. There's something about it when you come back and, there's a tunnel you go through and then you come out and there's a Half Dome over here and there's just waterfalls and you're like, whoa, it's like a complete decompressor, man. It's the most beautiful spot I've ever been.
Oh, really? So do you miss it at all?
Well, I love going a lot, but unfortunately, it's like one of the number one tourist spots in the world.
Right.
So it's hard for me to go. Like,
Oh, right.
Like, I don't have a.
It sucks when your home is not like.
Yeah.
These people don't really respect it like a home.
Yeah, like I want to go for like a week. Like with Marin, I'm like, yeah, let's go hiking, and then I'm entering lotteries each morning to get into the hike I want to do, and I'm like, what is going on here? But I do love it, and if I probably wasn't in the biz, maybe at this age, I would just go up there and work there.
Oh, I got you.
Like as a volunteer or whatever.
How'd you get? So then, like, how did you get into music? Because that part, I don't think I've ever talked to you about that part of your life. So, because it's almost like you've had two different lives.
Oh,
you've lived
100%.
2 lifetimes. It feels like that, right?
Yeah, like really 3. Because when I was growing up,
you had your Yosemite lifestyle,
yeah, that kind of thing, like hippie, and then I get to the Bay Area and I'm engulfed. Like we didn't have TV up there, you know what I mean?
Oh, in Yosemite.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I think it was no TV, maybe one channel. There's no cable up there or anything.
Wow.
So once I get into the Bay Area, the floodgates open, and my mom was way into music, taking me to concerts at a young age, and that was it for me. Music, I had to do it. I grew up in the Bay Area. Like, you got all the music there. And all the clubs. It's like a mecca of music in the 70s and 80s.
Really?
Oh my God. You got everything from like, say, the Grateful Dead, Jefferson Airplane, and all that hippie stuff in the 60s. Then you get into the 70s rock out there, like Santana and all that. And then you get into the 80s of like Metallica.
That was all in the Bay Area.
That's all in San Francisco, ground zero.
So was it, what drew you to the rock, though? Because it was rock that really grabbed you?
Yeah. It was just like Kiss as a kid. It was like comic booky and fire and everything. So
the makeup and all that.
Yeah, I loved Kiss as a kid. And then from there, it just went, AC/DC and Van Halen. And then from there, I got way into like Prince and NWA, just all this music, was engulfed in me, man. I liked all music.
But okay, but when did you, what got you into like, because you were a performer, you were like, what was all that about? How did that come about? So you leave Yosemite, you're now in this area, your mom's taking you to concerts, and you're like, okay, I want to do that. Yeah. So then what was the next step?
Neighbor was a drummer, and he gave me a drum kit. I played that for like 2 weeks, and I was like, nah. I traded it in. I loved AC/DC, so I got a guitar. Same one as the Angus, the guy in the band. Mm-hmm. And then I got a guitar, and then everyone in the neighborhood was playing guitar because of Angus and Eddie Van Halen. And they're like, we need singers. No one wanted to sing. And every band needed a singer. So then the high school was doing one of those kind of battle of the bands, and me and some guys put a band together and played the high school.
Oh, you were Jack Black before Jack Black was Jack Black.
Oh, yeah. When I see him, right, I'm like, people are like, you're like Jack Black. I go, hey, man, I think I'm older than him, but I did live that life.
By the way, one of my favorite movies still to this, I love School of Rock.
Oh, man.
It's just like, that is a classic, perfect movie. I can watch that movie. You could just turn it on at any point, and I'll continue to watch it. I love that movie so much.
That's a smoker film, man. And wow, does he kill it in that so hard. And the kids are so good. Everyone,
yeah.
Everyone's great. They nailed it with that because that movie and the Almost Famous. Me being from music, Almost Famous is the masterpiece music film because as a musician, you watch it and you go, all right, we're gonna wait for the corny stuff to come, and it never comes. It's dead on real.
Yeah.
So those two, and then of course the comedy Spinal Tap. You got those three. But
So then so you became a singer?
So out of necessity, and that was weird being a singer because it's just like really bizarre when you first start singing. You don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, were you writing your own music? Were you taking vocal lessons, or you were just like, okay?
Yeah, I was taking vocal lessons. My mom would drop me off on Thursdays. Old lady with a piano. We'd start with the scales. And you're like shy, there's people in the other room. You're thinking they're in there like, oh, this guy, But then I remember every week we'd sing, hello, is it me you're looking for? That was the one.
Lionel Richie?
Yeah, Lionel Richie, which I was glad because I got to learn different types of singing. But then you learn to sing, you either can sing or you can't.
Yeah.
And what you need to learn is longevity, how to keep your voice without going bad. That's really what you're learning.
You know what? I'm having that problem right now. I just started going on YouTube and doing vocal lessons because I was like, oh, something's going on with my voice. I can tell because I do it just on the podcast and I sing. And so for the past like 6-7 months, I've been like, oh man, this isn't going right. Something's wrong. Yeah. And I thought it was like, oh, is it because of age? And then when I look into the research, it actually has nothing to do with age.
Nope.
It has everything to do with like, keeping up your whatever that is. And so I'm trying to figure that out now.
Yeah, it's a muscle. Even when we took the whole year off of doing comedy, you and I did our first show back together at the beach. And, I'm going to be talking only 20 minutes. But if you haven't done that for, a year, your voice gets tired. So you got to warm it up and you got to keep that thing. It's a muscle and you got to keep it working all the time. When I'm doing weekends, like 5 shows, 5 1 hours, like I just did at the Punchline, I'll warm up at the Room for sure.
Like, what do you do? What's your warm up?
I got it on my computer, which is great, but they're basically,
send me that.
I'll send it over to you and I'll show you how to do it.
Yeah.
But there's stuff like this thing called a lip trill where it's like,
I just saw this on a YouTube video and the guy was going like this stuff.
Yeah. Then you do this.
Oh, wow.
What you're doing is you're creating a, like a little bit of pressure that, warms up the vocal cords instead of going, and you're doing all that. And then there's these, it's crazy. And singing.
And how long do you do it?
I usually do it for about 15 minutes when I can kind of feel it's good. Some people do it a half hour. Some people do what they call a warm down now, which I never got. That came later, where after the show, they do this warm down.
What's up, everybody? This is Erik Griffin, and I'm here to talk to you about BetterHelp. I love talking about therapy. I do real-world advice from a grown-ass man. I know it's very helpful just to talk to somebody, just to have some like a common sense approach, but sometimes you need a little bit more help. You need to delve deeper, and that's what therapy is all about. So I do highly recommend BetterHelp. There are many things that interfere with our happiness, as you know. We've had the craziest almost 2 years right now, and it's taken its toll. So I really highly recommend you talk to a professional. They don't solve your problems so much as they help you pinpoint the causes and some like coping mechanisms to help you get through it. That's what this is all about. You'll get timely and thoughtful responses, plus you can schedule weekly video or phone sessions, all without having to sit in an uncomfortable waiting room, because that's always uncomfortable. So listen, I don't know what your issues are, but it could be many number of things: depression, stress, anxiety, anger, family problems, grief, self-esteem, anything you can think of like that. Talking to a trained professional, it'll do wonders for helping you really organize your thoughts and find out why you're feeling the way you're feeling. Everything's confidential. It's convenient. Look, I highly recommend it. I've gone through it. I worked on boundary issues with it. There's sometimes you work on things that you don't even realize that what are the causes and where it came from. And then you start to really, your eyes open up and you can start to see when things are happening. So look, I want you to start living a happier life today. As a listener, you'll get 10% off your first month by visiting our sponsor at betterhelp.com/Griffin. That's help. HELP. Join over 1 million people who've taken charge of their mental health. That's betterhelp.com, HELP, BetterHelp, HELP.com/Griffin for 10% off your first month. Get out there and get some help. Let's get back to the show.
Which is really crazy, like to bring your voice back down. I don't know that technique, and I'm sure it's out there, but it's definitely a thing. And I realized when you're singing how to get the high notes. It's kind of like when you're yawning. You ever yawn and you go like,
Yeah.
That's how you sing, man. It's like it opens everything up. Once you realize that, like, oh, that's the way you want to be, all in here, loose. And open.
or like even they talk about above your, like
absolutely,
like above, like. And I know when I started doing this one, and it was like the guy was saying like, make it feel like it's above that, you know.
Right.
And then when you're doing it, you really, you know, you have to like, you know, you go, oh,
Yeah.
you almost feel it go from there to there, and I was just like, oh, I didn't even, I use my voice all the time, and I don't even think, and I just kind of like, you know, I have a all right singing voice when I'm in the thing, so I just go like, oh, okay, and then when I wasn't able to do certain things, I was like, oh shit,
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know-
I mean, we need our voice. Holy smokes, if we don't have it. Like, I've seen guys where their voice is blown out by the 4th show on a weekend.
Yeah.
And you're like, dude, you got 2 more to go.
Yeah.
You know, and they're like, and booze is the worst for your voice. It dries it all out, alcohol. So, you know, people are drinking and, you know, you got to be like straight up like water or good warm tea. And then just mic technique, man. Understanding like how to use the power of the PA.
yeah, for sure.
Totally, man. You know, it's wild. Also, I can see notes. It's really weird. Like if I want to hit a high note, I can kind of see where to go. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like it's really wild. You know, I can actually see the note and go for it.
Oh, that's amazing. Like I knew something was up with my voice when I was because when I used to be able to do karaoke and I used to be able to do Purple Rain, right?
Oh yeah.
And at the end of Purple Rain, I used to be able to hit all that, you know.
Oh yeah. That's
you
so
know,
high.
but I used to be able to really get it. And then
Yeah.
one time I was like trying to get it, and I was like, you know, like this shit was happening. I was like, what happened to my singing voice? You know?
Yeah.
And then I thought, oh my God, do I have polyps? Am I losing my voice? Am I too old?
Yeah.
But then now I'm actually doing some research. I was like, oh, wait a minute. I need to do some vocal exercises,
Yeah.
stuff I've never thought I needed to do. But
Yeah.
you know, as you get older, I mean, that it is partly about getting older in terms of like your voice isn't just like, you know,
Of course, not ready to go.
it's not ready to go. So
Yeah.
I was like, all right. So I just really started like, you know, I try to do it in the shower. So I just
Yeah.
put like, you know, my little, you know, the phones are waterproof. So I just have it in the thing and I just follow this guy's technique. It's like, all right, first do this.
Yeah. I'll send
You
it
know?
over to you.
Yeah,
man.
and I want to start doing it because I really do feel like, and then because I do this every week, I know in the comments people go, "What's up with Griff's voice? What's wrong with Griff's not hitting the notes? What's happening?" And
I
I'm
ain't
like,
going on your Patreon anymore.
I'm like, fuck, man,
Yeah,
what's
yeah.
going on with me?
You got to start lip syncing.
Yeah, I know. Hilarious.
Just
I'll
have
be
to
like,
set up
"Woo, woo, woo, woo."
96 Griffin.
Yeah, man. So I used to love going to karaoke and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like I can. I knew something was up, but that's interesting to know that it is really about vocal exercises and getting that muscle going with anything. So you know because I always see these old pictures of you.
Oh yeah.
I always see these old pictures of you, and it's interesting because when I look at that, I go, like I said, like. You literally lived a different life.
Totally.
Like that version of Dean Del Rey, like I don't know that guy at all.
Yeah.
You know what
Not
I mean?
at all.
And
Yeah.
so like, you know, like so when did it become like a thing where you were making a living?
Well, you know, pre illegal downloading, guys like me that weren't big stars, but like, you know, blue collar bands that had a record deal.
Oh, got you.
Could kind of, you know, go out and make a living selling CDs and merch and tickets and everything. And no problem, you know, like, and then it came to that point to where you're like, hey, you want to buy a CD after the show? And they're like, oh no, my friend downloaded it. We love it. Thank you. And you're like, oh, you know, like they don't even realize they're telling you we stole it, you know, because they don't put it together.
Okay, that's interesting. Let's talk about this.
Yeah.
It's interesting that you say this. I liken it to, you know, things have to evolve.
Right.
So, for instance, you know, photo mats went away.
Of course.
You know what I mean? They went
Yeah.
away because technology made it so you could. So then that was like kind of a business that was just like, hey, we don't need this anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's because I have two schools of thought about like downloading music, and it's amazing how because I remember I don't know if you remember this app called Audio Galaxy.
I don't know that one. I just
It
remember
was right
Napster.
around Napster, but
Right.
this was one of those ones. It was an offshoot one, but I just remember you could download a bunch of things at once, and it would take like after 10 hours, you'd be like, "Oh shit, I got the whole Beatles album," or something. Like,
you go to sleep, you wake up,
yeah.
it's still like,
But it would be like this amazing thing. And now, dude, like I can download the entire Beatles collection,
Yeah.
live albums, bootleg mixes. In literally 2 minutes, I can have the entire shit on my computer.
Instantly.
Instantly.
Yeah.
So, two schools of thought with
Yeah.
this. It's just, I always, okay, so when I look at you think of like sports, you know, yeah, you are paying for cable and stuff like that, you know. But for the most part, if I wanted, like in our younger years, you wanted to watch the NBA, it was free.
Absolutely.
You know, because you turn on NBC and there it is.
Yeah.
The NBA's on. And so, but if you wanted to go watch it live, that's what you had to pay a certain amount of money.
Right.
And that was where the money was generated, along with like the TV revenue and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and then the logos and all that.
So you have all that. So there was a part of it like, imagine if you didn't have that exposure to it at all, would you even be interested in it? Would you even be able to watch it? So you have to get the product out there.
Right.
Now, in terms of like music, like, I remember having to buy CDs. I remember having to go on the record, but I wouldn't necessarily take a chance on something I've never heard before. So it was like, you know, I found that when we were able to download music, I became a fan of people I never thought I would become a fan of.
Right. Because you had access to it.
Because I had access to it. And so it was like, I felt like the musicians then needed to change how they monetized their thing.
Right.
But I can understand on the other side of it is like, hey, this is how we were doing it. We sell CDs.
Yeah.
Our music is supposed to be, we should get paid for any time somebody plays it. I don't necessarily agree with that. So like, where did you stand on that? And did you change your outlook on it? Or how have you evolved? Or what do you think about it?
Well, I mean, we can talk about it for hours because it's such a big deal to me.
Yeah, it's nuanced.
Yeah. It here's what I say. There's numerous people out there that have all kinds of different attitudes. One of them, I think the biggest was, fuck those rich rock stars. I'm taking the music, you know. I'm totally for streaming, paying for, you know, Amazon Music or iTunes or whatever. I love that big time. What I don't like is what was going on before that, which was the illegal downloading of stealing of the records. You know, they're not even paying a streaming platform. At least the streaming platform, you know, they're robbing the musicians right now. You know, they give you like a penny or whatever a stream. But eventually, I think they're going to battle and get this equal rights.
Well, I think they already have.
They're starting to.
I mean,
yeah.
the music. I mean, you know, when that one kid that was killed, that rapper, he signed a $10 million deal.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm saying they figured out how to monetize, and the music industry figured out how to get into the streaming game.
You're right. Well,
they didn't know how to.
Oh, yeah.
But one contention I have about what you said is, I don't think, because let me tell you my perspective. I remember when we were able to start burning our own CDs.
Right. Yeah.
And that's when I knew we were being robbed.
Right.
Okay, that's what. So it wasn't about the musicians.
No.
And I tell you when it really wasn't about the music. So like I remember being like, so I can get 50 CDs for $6.
Right.
And then like, so then why am I paying $17 for a CD? Okay.
Yeah.
So then you start to go, well, I like such and such artist. And you were like, okay, so this is how they make money. But then come to find out the artist wasn't even making money.
No.
So then it became a thing like, why the fuck am I paying $17 for this
the
CD?
record company.
To the record company.
Right.
What are they doing? So I disagree with you about like, I don't think people were like, fuck these rock artists.
Right.
No, they were like, the money's not even getting to them.
Well,
I'll
no,
go see them live.
Yeah.
That's where they get the money.
I'm talking about like when Lars from Metallica was like, look, Napster's doing this. And they were like, fuck Lars or whatever, you know, and turned out he was right. He's like, we better fix this now or else it's going to go up in flames. My point on it is, you know, the people, and this is really a long-going thing, the people need to realize, and some do and some don't, that the band gets like a penny or a dime, or some big stars, maybe $1. Once they realize that, then go join their Patreon. That's what I always tell people, and start going towards the bands, you know, not the big bands. Of course, they've restructured their deals and stuff, but I'm talking about people like you and I, where you're out there. Everything we do is free, pretty much. You know, podcasting, a lot of the shows, they're papered rooms or whatever. And we work, and look, I'm not complaining at all, ever. I'm just let people know, hey, this is what's going on. And then they go, oh, I didn't know. I thought you got a lot of money from Spotify like everybody else. No, I'm just letting you know. I never complain. If you're complaining, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
You know, or just keep doing it, you know, but that's my point. I let people know, hey, I'm not getting any money. So if you do want to go to the Patreon, please do.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, like, it seems like look, when technology's changed the business.
Right.
So it's like, it is what it is in terms of like, I understand that people think like what are you, so the question becomes, what are you doing this music for? Are you doing this music just to make money, or do you think the only way you should make money is people listening to the music? And I always say, go see your favorite artist live. It's a different experience.
I say it all the time.
Go see them live. Go pay that ticket, because that's for the longest time, that's where people make their money.
Well, I tell people this, you and I know this more than anybody. It's like, hey, coming to Sacramento this weekend, man, gonna catch you next time. And perfect example of this, I went to Tom Petty at the Hollywood Bowl. A week later, he died. Okay? A week later. It was his last show ever. And so many people were like, oh, I was going to catch him next time around.
Yeah.
And then when COVID happened and the lockdown, and it looked like we weren't maybe going to do comedy for a couple years, or who knows, I was like, for all you people that say going to catch you next time, there might not be a next time.
Yeah.
And for numerous reasons. One, you didn't draw enough at the club. They don't have you back.
Yep.
Two, maybe you're not alive. Three, maybe you tap out of the business or whatever. That's how grinding it is. So it's got to be vital for the fan. When somebody comes to town that I want to see, I'm there. I mean, I'm like, oh my God, I got to see Prince at the Forum,
Yeah, man. It's an amazing thing, but it's like I totally see both sides of it, because I'm on both sides of it. But I mean, what we've learned in this pandemic is like, you just have to find different ways to monetize your personality and your art form. But it's just interesting to me to hear about somebody who like you really lived through it.
Yeah.
I mean, so when we were going through that transition as a society, I mean, I'm sure it was hard for all those mid-range artists. I'm sure it was hard for but come to find out, it wasn't just hard for you guys. It was hard for like TLC too.
Oh yeah.
It was hard for because we got all these stories later. I mean, this was the backlash. I mean, the backlash to the industry and the music industry was when these stories would come out and the number one artist in the country was like broke.
Yeah.
And that made us all, as a consumer, you were like, whoa. Where's the money flow?
Yeah.
Like, where's the money flow going? Because I didn't know that I was making a record company rich.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I used to go to these record companies. I'd be like, the CDs used to be like $17,
Dude,
bro.
when they first came out, they were $25. I remember I got Jane's Addiction, Nothing Shocking. It was like $27 out the door. I was like, whoa, it's state of the art. Turns out later it wasn't.
I know.
You're like, I want the $2 vinyl. Give me that back.
I remember how the record store used to, remember Warehouse Records?
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
I remember how it changed. It was so amazing. Like, so you walk in and it was all records.
Yeah.
Okay, like vinyl records.
Yep.
And cassette tapes. And then like a few years ago by, then it was like, half the store was vinyl records, and then they had this little CD section.
Yeah.
And I remember the first CD I ever had. My first CD was the Faith album, George Michael.
Great record.
That was my first
great record.
CD.
Yeah.
And I had this ridiculous little CD player that, like, you couldn't breathe on it, or that motherfucker would skip.
Skippers.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm talking about, you had to have it in a stationary, but it was like, I was like, oh, this is amazing. I love this sound,
when Anti-Skip came out,
my with the Walkman and all that stuff, that stuff was great.
I had the yellow one,
but
I had the Sport.
Dude, I had cassette tapes all the time too, man. That was my thing.
I love cassettes.
I had two, I remember I had 2 cassette tapes.
Yeah.
Huey Lewis and the News,
Yeah.
I want a new drug.
Oh, yeah, Sports record. One of the greatest records ever made.
So I had that, and then I had like the other one was like the Purple Rain, and I would listen to those at night in my stupid cassette tape player. So like, but then the CD, the store changed.
Yeah,
and then it was like all CDs.
Yeah, when the CD first came out, it was in the long box.
Yeah.
And then they were like,
they had all this bullshit with it.
Yeah, too much room. So they just switched to no box.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, all right. So they could get thousands in the store.
And then it was like, then cassette tapes, gone.
Gone.
Even before vinyl, cassettes were like, no. Who's doing that? Nobody.
Yeah,
and then you started to be like, how ridiculous it was to have to like, skip forward and like to find your song.
Auto reverse.
All that stuff. Yeah. Or how about you had to turn it over?
Oh, the worst. You
You
know?
had to take it out, turn it over.
A-track was even crazier. Mid-track, it'd be like, oh, running on empty, running.
Those are, and then all of a sudden it was just all CDs, and then like the downloading started. But I just feel like that the music industry itself, they got over on us for many, many, many years, and then it was like the Napster and all that stuff was just a backlash. I mean, there is I'm not saying it's right, but there is a feeling of like, yo, let us hear. Let us hear what you got going on. And then let us decide after we hear it, okay, now I'll support you.
Yeah, I mean, like, look, I never complained. Yeah, I played music 25 years, never complained. I just tell people, they go like, hey, how did you just get out of music and start doing comedy? And I was like, well, have you ever done anything 25 years? Eventually it started to dwindle away, the money. And then I had to get a job. I didn't complain. And then one day I just said, you know what? If I'm going to do something for free, I'm going to try something I always wanted to do, comedy.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened. I was like, I'm going to do this, and I'm fine with it. And I've never ever complained. I'm not one of those guys that's like, oh, this bullshit, like some tumbleweed. I was making money and then you guys fucking changed it. No, you just fucking adapt and figure it out and move on,
Yeah, for sure. And I think that even in the comedy industry, we're seeing like this huge change in how it works too.
Big time. We're the gatekeepers now, not the big dogs at Comedy Central. That's not even on my radar,
Yeah, it's funny how that is a thing now. It's like it used to be this thing where you need, Comedy Central, it's like you're supposed to be the place where you go, and it's like I don't know one person I know that watches Comedy Central. Talks about it.
It's not on anymore, right?
I don't even know I don't know what's going on there, but they alternative comedy themselves right out of the market. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
All the alternative, whoever. I really feel like the problem was like there was a lack of taste, a broadening of the taste too. It was just like one taste.
Well, that happened to like anything, say music business. They're like, okay, we're into this kind of music.
Right.
Now it's grunge only.
Yeah.
Now it's alternative rock. Now it's hip hop only. Instead of like, there's tons of taste out here. We better, work on. I mean, I went to meetings and there's like, you're too old, and I'm like, if you look at my Instagram, the numbers here, these people are 25 to 35. That's the demographic. I don't have 60-year-olds on here. They don't even work Instagram. You know? It's
I know. It's so strange.
Yeah.
But it's funny when we talk about like, I think the separation of music was a problem when we were kids. But you know what I think really changed that was TRL on MTV.
Yeah.
I think it changed the music landscape. This is just my opinion. But I remember when TRL was at its height. So they would have this chart that they would have and be like,
I remember.
This is the top 10 songs according to TRL. But what they found was it wasn't a particular type of music.
No.
It became like literally what pop music means.
It was like the 50s.
It doesn't mean, but I'm saying pop music doesn't mean like what we think, oh, it's poppy.
Yeah.
It meant what
popular.
Popular.
Right.
And so then you had this chart and it would be like rap, rock, alternative, country. It would be like, and I think that slapped all of that generation in the face, and they were just like, oh yeah, it doesn't have to be the rock chart. It doesn't have to be the R&B chart. It doesn't have to be the hip hop chart. It doesn't have to be the It was like, oh, these are the 10 songs that we love, and they're from all different genres.
That's the same thing with comedy. My argument is like, it comes down to a great song. Okay, all different races love a great song.
Yeah,
and with comedy, it comes down to great jokes. I'm in the room, you're in the room at the Comedy Store. There's multi-races and ages and types of people in this room. Are they laughing? Yeah, they are. So it doesn't matter. It just matters, do the people like the joke or the song?
I say that all the time about comedy. One of the things that I love about it so much, live performing. The thing that like always moves me is I'm looking out at a group of people that, one, don't know each other.
Right.
Two, they're from all different ages, races, demographics, economic backgrounds.
Totally.
And they're collectively laughing at me.
Yeah. And the weirdest part to me is a lot of times no one knows who you are the first minute you walk on.
Yeah.
They don't know you. And hopefully, in a matter of a minute or so, they're all laughing at a total stranger.
Well, you know what though? That doesn't even matter, because I feel like now I have some notoriety enough where like, and I start to feel it too, like when I'm at, especially shows in LA, to be like, hey, Erik Griffin, Erik Griffin. And then I see some people go, oh, you know what I mean? I'm like, oh, so these people know me, right? But here's the thing, man. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like, I've brought up really famous, like I'd be like a famous person drops in.
Yeah.
Okay? I won't even say a certain names,
yeah.
all right? And I'll be like, guys, you're going to love this, so-and-so. And everybody's like, oh my God.
You got a minute.
A minute tops.
You got a minute.
Maybe 2 minutes.
Yeah.
You get the you're famous. And then the whole crowd starts to go, is this dude funny?
I know.
Is this chick funny?
They're like this. Yeah.
Then they're like, oh, maybe he hasn't done it in a while.
Then they're just looking at it.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is famous, not famous.
I know.
There is
I get
something
that.
about like you really have to like get them, you know?
Yeah. Oh yeah. But I'm saying when you do, it trips me out of like, I'm a total stranger. And I'm just like, it's like if you were at a party, right? And I'm in the corner and they're like, what's this guy about? And all of a sudden they're like laughing, you know, like at a stranger, like at a party.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like to me, you know?
Well, you know, Dean, I got to tell you, man, like I remember when we first started hanging out, I instantly was like, oh, this is a cool dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then we're like, you know, we're close in age.
Yeah.
So that's like a thing too. Like in comedy, a lot of times you're like, I end up, because I started late too, even though not as late as you, but I still started late in comparison to a lot of people that I know. So you're always like the older statesman around. So it was interesting to have somebody like around my age and we could share the same experiences, the same thought process, you know? But there was a thing where it's like, I don't like hanging out with people I don't think are funny.
Right. Oh yeah.
I can't do it.
Jim Norton said the same thing on my podcast.
I'm not going to pretend. I can't
do it either,
right?
Yeah.
So I hadn't seen you do comedy yet.
Yeah.
And we were hanging out.
Yeah.
And my thing was like, I like this guy. So I avoided watching you for a long time. Because people were talking shit about you.
Yeah,
you know
of course.
I mean? So people were talking smack stuff, and I was like, oh God, what if he's not funny? How am I gonna have to like not talk to him anymore?
Yeah.
Not so extreme, but it would be difficult. You know?
I get it.
And then I saw you and I was like, thank God, this guy's funny. And then we just started doing some stuff. You know, you've come with me on the road a few times.
That's
And now
great.
you're going on the road on your own. You're bringing people, and it's like, you know, it's like, you know, it is. I know that thing you must feel because, you know, it's like I like being an odd looking guy sometimes.
Yeah.
So for you too, it must be the same kind of thing. Here's this like weird character. You got tattoos. You got you look like somebody's dad.
Yeah,
and then you go on there and you just have this way about how you do the comedy and I enjoy watching that. You know what I mean? I enjoy seeing like you and then the people enjoying you and kind of being like surprised.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You know what I mean?
yeah.
And that's always a great feeling.
It is. It's funny because when I started, you know, they were like, you should be the rocker comic or you should be the biker comic. And I was like, nah, I'm going to be a comic.
Yeah, it's funny how you get typecasted or people put you in. And it's the reason why people don't want to put their personal business out there. It's like, if you be like, okay, I'm bisexual, I'm gay, I'm whatever. Then all of a sudden now, you have to be that comic.
Yeah, like I liked Al Magical, big time. And he's Hispanic. Not once did he ever talk about that.
Yeah, he doesn't like being like that type of,
right.
You know
So
what I mean?
I learned so much from him because when I was coming up, you know, they had the, Refried Fridays and the Crack 'em Ups. And there were all these like, an urban show, a Hispanic show. And I was just kind of like, I just want to be able to do all these and just be a comedian. That's another reason why I moved to New York for 3 years. You know, I was just like, I want to be not an LA comic. I want to be a comic and learn a different rhythm there and everything. But, you know, I grew up on comedy and I fucking loved it, man, as a kid. Cheech and Chong, Pryor, Carlin, Hicks, these guys were like gods to me. At the same time, I was listening to a record, like say I'd put on, AC/DC record, the next record would be Richard Pryor.
Yeah.
I mean, all the time at a party, and I always wanted to do comedy, so I kind of understood what good comedy was and what bad comedy was.
Yeah. Even if it's hard, and then there's so many like different factors that go into it. I mean, it's like, even for me, like I remember, I knew when I was going to when I was going to doing colleges, pre being even a little bit pseudo famous.
Yeah,
it was a different experience. Because you go in and you're like, okay, these people don't really know who you are. You have to deal with these. You have to deal with these like sensitive ass, bitch ass college kids.
Oh yeah,
they're just so stupid.
Oh,
they're the smartest, stupidest, sensitive people I've ever like.
Yeah.
When people in college, like they're so stupid about life.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They just had like their freshman psychology, so now they think like, oh, and they're just so overly sensitive about certain things, and then it's like, and comedy is one of those things that they haven't lived, so
right.
They can't understand, they can't fathom that this is just an entertaining thing that we're doing, even if we're talking about a really tough subject. They don't know how to disassociate from like this, like, feeling that they have, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, they're like, oh,
yeah.
Ooh.
So, but anyways, when you're not famous at all,
yeah,
that's a lot to deal with.
Oh man,
and then you're getting like these, your agents calling you. What happened at the show?
Oh, yeah.
There's this one girl called her father, and then school is like, it's like that. Then you had to deal with that kind of stuff. Once the workaholics and all that kind of stuff, man,
yeah,
completely changed.
Totally,
same act.
Yeah, same act, and they're like, oh yeah, it's Montez.
Yeah, but then I started to go up top, be like, listen, if you're sensitive, if you've never been to a show, I need you to get the fuck out now.
Yeah,
because you're about to go call your dad, so I want you to leave now.
Yeah. Tammys, remove the Tammys.
Yeah, if you all you Tammys, get out of here. So it's just, so what I'm saying is like there is a level of like, what's going on, what I mean? Like you just have this sort of like, and I see it even at at the Comedy Store. It's like, being a part of the Comedy Store for the past like, in the past like 8 years has been a very weird experience.
Totally. I mean, the Comedy Store is my life. It was the reason I really wanted to do comedy. I was hanging there in the 80s. My buddy was dealing coke. He'd be like, hang here on the patio, free drinks. I got to make a lap. And he would go sell blow. And we were there and, watching Kinnison and Dice, dude. I was there, man. And I would be like, oh, wow. I remember I saw Dice and I was like, what the fuck? He was just, he'd come on like, is that your girl? What a hole. Yeah. And they would go, we're out of here, honey. And, he was like trying to, clear the room out. And I was like, this is crazy shit,
So this is how Dice shook my hand the first time he ever met me.
Oh, flat-handed.
Yeah, he just kept it like this.
Wow.
I'll never forget that.
Wow. So to come to the store at 44, walk on the patio and go, is this where the open mic's at? And, people are like, oh, what the fuck is that guy?
You actually went to the open mics?
Oh, I was doing the potluck.
Man.
I was doing the potluck, dude. I remember when I first got there.
I never did it.
Alex was the guy that picked the names. And he was telling me like, yeah, when I started here, guys would get stabbed. You're trying to get their name in the bucket before the other guy, like, oh, stab a dude on the patio. and I was there and it was just, and it wasn't even, I would say there would be 50. Now there'd be 250. Like right before the lockdown. Right. Oh my God. It'd just be like, whoa. But there'd be like 50 and I didn't know anyone. I had no friends. I'd just kind of roll on there. I'd sign up. And then those guys would try to roast me, when they're hosting. That was like the easy thing for them to do. Roast each comic. So I started, doing that open mic. And then when I started hosting, I was like, I'm not going to roast people. I'm going to actually, if they're good, I'm going to say, hey, that was some good shit, man. Yeah. And, just kind of went for a positive vibe on it because I knew how. Look, it's great to be rough on people because, get out if you can't handle it.
Yeah. But there's an element of like, let's clear this herd of.
Yeah. Because like even when I
there needs to be a culling.
Like when I first met you, everybody was like, yeah, that's Erik Griffin. He's mean. Because remember you would just show up like, yeah, what's up? And you look at, who are these guys? Get out of here. You know, like,
Dude, you
I
have
got
to
it,
be
though.
unapproachable because
Yeah.
motherfuckers will take all your energy.
oh, I call them time bandits.
Yeah, man.
You know, they come up there like, hey, man, you got somewhere pretty quick. How do you
How did you start comedy? And it's like
Yeah.
you just got to be like, the ones that just knew how to be cool and like.
Yeah.
I get this all the time. Somebody else was telling me this. I was at Supernova, and then
Yeah.
the chick was saying to me like, "Yeah, it's a couple of these new comics. They're like, I don't think he likes me. They're talking about me.
Yeah.
Bitch, I don't know you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know you, so
Yeah.
I'm supposed to like every person. Like, they'll suck all your energy. If every person I met, I had to be like, "Hey, what's up, man?" Blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. So I just kind of like, I'm just chill. I'm not. It's nothing personal.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I mean?
And a lot of times I'm getting ready to go on, man. Like my mind, I'm trying to remember these jokes, these new jokes and everything. And they're like, hey, man, think I could open for you in Utah? And I'm just like, well, dude, who are you? You know? And I'm not being a dick, but I'm in my own mind.
Not even
right
just that. The like as if I don't know any comic.
now. Yeah, the etiquette is crazy.
Like,
The
like
etiquette is
so
crazy.
you're asking me, yo, yeah, I see you coming to what you call it. You don't mind if it's like, I get the ask.
Right.
Because you're trying to hustle, do your thing.
I get it.
But don't be mad if I'm like, no.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you don't think I have a address book full of comics I know, trust, and
Yeah.
respect,
And want to hang with.
and want to hang with?
Right.
Because it's
I'm in a
really about the
strange
hang.
city. I'm in a strange
It's
city.
really about the hang.
Really
like,
about the hang.
we've had some great times hanging out.
Oh,
you know?
dude, I can't.
You know, it's
I
like-
send that photo to you all the time of you and I on the couch at the La Jolla, and I'm laughing because you're just roasting on me. You know, you're like, oh, here comes Dean with his dumbass whatever, and I'm over there laughing on that dumb green couch they had, like wicker couch.
But man, we've been talking for so long now. We got to wrap it up because I got to
Yeah.
do this thing.
Yeah.
But my favorite moment with you still, I was just, who was I telling this to I was telling this to somebody the other day, but we're watching that Bill Murray movie.
Oh my God!
What was the
dude.
name of that movie?
I forget. We're down there in the.
Wait, I gotta look it up because I gotta know. And it was
Yeah.
like this
Dude.
great. We
It's
gotta look it
incredible.
up. Bill Murray IMDb. Bill Murray
Yeah.
movies.
Oh my God! And we're down there at
Saint Vincent.
St. Vincent's, and we're down there in the
Where I think
that-
it's Ontario.
Ontario. That's where it was.
And so we're watching this movie.
Yeah.
And then
Let's go see this comedy. Dude.
Yeah, it's because it's Bill Murray.
Yeah.
I thought he should have won the Oscar. But anyway, at the end of the movie, there's this great because anything that has to do with mother and son, you get me.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
I knew something was gonna happen. Remember that scene? Like, it's right before he goes. He's in the kitchen. The
Yeah.
kid is in the kitchen, and he says something to his mom. And I remember sitting there with you, and I went like this. Uh-oh.
yeah.
Because
It's middle of the day too.
it's because I knew, I was like, oh, this is gonna get me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then it was so like emotional and moving. I'm crying.
Yeah.
And then I look over at your ass, you're crying.
Yeah.
And you looking at me, and you go, look at us, two guys in their 40s balling in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
And that just made me,
Two hard dudes
Yeah,
too. It was like this. No, here's exactly what happened. We're watching it, right? And
you don't want to look at me. I
and
don't want to look at you.
Yeah, and I go, oh no, I'm gonna cry. And I'm holding my face like a ventriloquist, right? Like, oh no. And I hear and over to the left of me. And I look over and I go, oh, Erik's crying. Damn, I am too. Dude, I heard the sniffle like this.
Yeah.
And I knew I go,
that sniffle gave me away. I was like, don't do it.
Dude,
You know, it's like, that was just great. And it's just like one of those moments where, I knew, you know what? It was that moment I knew we'd be friends forever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even though we were already tied at that point, but
you helped me so much, man.
Wow.
Dude, I mean, there's some dudes out there that helped me. Look, I busted my ass.
You did. You worked hard, man.
Yeah, and I've done over 5,000 shows.
Jesus.
But it was the help of being people going, this guy's busting his ass. I'm going to take him on the road and learn the 20-minute art, which is fucking light years of time when you're new. You're like, oh my God, 20. Now I'm at 20. I'm like, I'm just starting this bit, man. And so you're out there learning the 20, and then I'm bringing you up, and you'd be like, oh, you were terrible. Like, whatever, just laughing, like roasting me for fun, And
where do you think you lost them?
yeah. And
Because that's how it was for me when I was coming up.
yeah,
Like,
totally.
those people, you'd be like, oh, man.
Yeah.
Right before you go on stage, you gonna wear that? It's like that's how those old cats used to be, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's just hardcore. So, but you know what? Whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Yeah, it was just and look, like I said, I became a paid regular at the store, and it's just like music. I never did anything for money ever. I love this so much that even during the lockdown, I was like, oh wow, I finally found something I love, and it's gone.
Yeah, that was
It's
the hard part.
fucking gone, man. And I was like, that's such Dean luck. I got good luck, and then until I don't, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, I was just fucking 11, 10 years in. I miss my friends.
Yeah,
I miss my goddamn friends. I hope they don't die. I hope the store doesn't close. Everything was good. If the store's gone, I was like, I'm moving immediately. I'm out of here because I'm only here for the store and my friends. That's it. The friends at the store. That's why I'm here.
Well, we're back.
Yeah.
It's like the stores that they're at, fully vaccinated shows, and that's like a whole thing too. People are, people, and I can't stand these people sending their messages about just like before, but just my only rant would be just, hey, take personal responsibility. It just really pisses me off that like people want to go out, they want to spend money, they want to drink, they want to eat, they want to like laugh. They want to projectile spit laugh, at a place. And then when something happens, they want to blame the building.
Yeah, I don't. Here's what I do.
Personal responsibility.
Here's what I do, Eric. I got a show tonight. At 4:00, I'm going to COVID test. And every time I go to do a show now, I COVID test myself. Because even if you're fully vaccinated, you could still maybe have it and you go in. So I test myself and I go, I'm clean today, and I go do the show. That's all you can do.
I know, man. And that's just, who knows? Hopefully this will subside and this will go,
I hope so.
It won't be a thing. And then we can like really, because right now what the tough part about it is, it's like such a hindrance to like the good time that this is supposed to be.
I get it. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's supposed to be about a communal bonding experience that now has this kind of like cloud over it. And so hopefully like, we can all get healthy or we can like beat this thing and we can just like,
I think the worst thing about it is besides doctors, we're the second people to help people. Whether it be a major tragedy in your life of, say, 9/11 or COVID or any of these big tragedies where we come together and make people laugh, and we couldn't do it. So that was really fucking bizarre. We can't help these people through these dark times.
Well, people are, but see what you monetize your content in another way. I think that's this podcast format is
totally.
like, because I get a lot of, all through COVID. I mean, I got people, man, you helped me get through this.
Dude, I get that.
You know what I mean?
I love that. When I get those emails, I feel so good because as I'm editing an episode for 4 hours.
And you're so sick of doing it.
Oh, yeah. And then you put it up and they're like, dude, man, I got cancer.
Right.
And I'm at chemo and I'm listening to this and I'm laughing and I feel great. And I go, that's it. That's
why you do it. Every time I feel like I don't want to do it, I'll be out someplace and somebody will see me at a store, just randomly be like, dude, love your podcast.
Yeah.
Then I go, oh, you're making me have to continue.
I know. Right? I remember I was going to quit at the 9-year mark, my podcast. And I go, this is it. I did it 9 years. And I thought about it for a couple weeks. I go, I'll just get to number 500 and then I'll be out. I did it for 500. I won't look like a quitter. 9 years.
Yeah.
I get to 500 and I get John Mayer and Paul Stanley from Kiss. Kiss, the whole reason I'm alive right now. And John Mayer, who I absolutely love, And I go, oh, shit. And about 3 months ago, I got AC/DC, my favorite band of all time. Their first podcast, I go, God, good thing I didn't quit.
Yeah.
And it reminded me of what Burr said. He goes, look, you got a lot of drive and you probably aren't going to make it. But you know how you're not going to make it? is if you quit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was his. He
Bill
wasn't.
Burr.
He wasn't saying you're not going to make it.
I know what
but
you mean.
He was saying the way you're not going to make it for sure is
Yeah.
if you quit. You know.
Yeah.
That was funny, man.
Well, you did it. You didn't quit, and you're here now. This
Yeah.
is
I love you,
Mr.
dude.
Dean Del Rey. So give me some new stuff, like where you're gonna be. I'll probably put this episode out this Monday.
Oh, good.
you know,
so I'm in New York all this week. So every night I'm at the Stand and the Cellar, and then Friday night I'll be in Connecticut with Bill Burr at Foxwoods Casino. And then I'm doing the Burr tour, so I'm all over America in the next couple months. Hopefully,
Oh, that's good. Glad that's. I'm glad
Yeah.
he's got you out there.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. Thanks for coming on.
Oh,
we should have
dude.
done this a lot sooner. Now that I think about it. But
Oh yeah, and we gotta
You
do
know how
some shows together again.
Yeah,
just for
yeah. We'll
fucking
figure it
fun,
out.
dude.
We'll figure it out. I'll find some whatever dates that if you're free. It's all good.
Oh, I'm in. I'm in.
yeah,
Just
yeah.
to do it, man.
Yeah, I know. It's just like, and it's like also like it is different when you're out in some strange city
I
with
love it.
someone that you know.
I love it. Like if we go to Portland and we're just out there roasting the hippies.
Yeah, or
and,
just
you know?
being able to like, hey, you want to go to breakfast? You want to go to lunch? We go
Yeah.
see movies. I mean,
Love
that's the kind of camaraderie that we need. Not some strange young kid who's like, can I open for you? Like I don't even fucking know you.
Can I run these bits by you
Yeah,
real
yeah,
quick?
yeah. Can you help me? Can you make me a better comic? Like I'm not your dad.
Yeah.
But Dean, thanks for coming on.
Thanks, guys.
So check Dean out. Make sure you check out what's the name? The Cactus.
CactusRadioNetwork.com. It's got all 4 shows on there right now.
So check that out.
All the streaming platforms. Let There Be Talk, Dean Del Rey.
And go check out Dean in New York if you're in the New York area, and go to Bill Burr's website, check out all the places they'll be.
We're doing Red Rocks.
Wow. Oh, good. And then again, if you're in the LA, Brea, Orange County area on the 19th, I'll be one night at the Brea Improv, and then I'll be in Escondido in San Diego area the next day on the 20th at the Grand Comedy Club
Oh, I
for
love
one
that
night.
place.
Yeah, good place. Great place to work out.
Great
Two
dude.
shows there. He's a good dude. Yeah. So check me out there. Make sure you check that out. And this has been Dean Del Rey. This is Riffin with Griffin, and I will see you next week.